Hello friends and welcome to my channel, A Love of Audiobooks. I created this channel to talk about audiobooks and books in general. It is something I love. If that is something that interests you, please hit the like button and subscribe. I also would like to ask if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comment section. Okay, now on to my video. Today I want to talk about Gillian Flynn's novels, Gone Girl, Dark Places, and Sharp Objects. Like most people, Gone Girl was my introduction to Gillian Flynn. This book and the movie were massive hits. Everyone was talking about how good it was, how the plot twist was so amazing. Of course, I needed to read it. Gone Girl centers on perfect, with quotations, Amy Dunn and her husband Nick. They are the perfect couple. That is until their 5th anniversary when Amy goes missing. The cops and everyone else look at Nick as the guilty party, which is not hard to believe, as Nick is far from innocent. Nick is a liar who thinks about the shape of his wife's skull while laying in bed with her. But everything is not as it seems. A staple of Gillian Flynn's writing is not knowing how to feel about it. Her characters are often awful people. This is front and center with Gone Girl. It is a book where you really do not like the characters. In fact, they straight up gave me the heebie-jeebies. Amy and Nick are basically the worst, and now you are reading 415 pages of their thoughts and terribleness. The major plot twist everyone was so keen on was easy to figure out. I think if the book had not been so sensationalized, it would have taken me longer to discover it. This at least made the book interesting, although I missed out on the payoff of a really great plot twist. Overall, this is not my favorite Gillian Flynn novel. I basically read it because everyone else was reading it. I probably would not reread it. That is mainly due to how much I dislike the characters. I do not have a review of the narrator for this book, as I actually read the Kindle version. Although I do see that one of the Gone Girl audiobooks features Julia Whelan, and she is an excellent narrator in my opinion. I have listened to a few books narrated by her and have enjoyed her readings. Libby Day is struggling with life. Hers has not been an easy one. Since a young age, she has lived off the kindness of strangers. That kindness is now dwindling as Libby ages. Libby's childhood was hard. Her family lived in poverty. Her mother, a single mom, trying to figure out life with 4 children. Everything explodes in one night of violence, when Libby overhears the murders of her sisters and mother, escaping through a window and hiding in a bush on a winter's night. It is her brother Ben who is accused and sentenced for the murders. These are memories Libby would like to forget. But when amateur investigator Lyle Worth comes calling with notions of Ben's innocence, Libby is dragged back into those memories of the worst night of her life. Could Ben really be innocent? And if he is, what happened that night? This is my favorite Gillian Flynn novel. I am not as repulsed by the characters in this novel as I am by her other novels. The story itself is engrossing and sad. It is violent and oftentimes upsetting. There is sex, violence, and crude language. Once again, Flynn does not hold back or show any sympathy for the reader. This is a novel meant to make you uncomfortable. None of Gillian Flynn's novels are for the faint of heart. Although I like this novel, it still has its drawbacks. Gillian Flynn's signature disgusting characters are there. The ending is also way too coincidental. The stars aligned on that night to cause such violence. My advice is to follow this book up with something lighter. Flynn's novels leave me feeling a little less after reading them. This is one I did listen to. The audiobook features multiple narrators, which overall did a good job at capturing the story. Camille works as a journalist for a small Chicago newspaper, covering crime and murder. When some unsolved murders crop up in her hometown of Wingate, she is placed on assignment to cover them. Although she has recently spent time in a psych ward for self-harm and is worried about diving back into the underbelly of her hometown. Spending time in her hometown means spending time with her family and the memories she has tried to outrun. Her mother is Adora, whom Camille has never had a good relationship with. Adora dotes on her younger sister Amma. Amma is the town it girl and the apple of Adora's eye. But Amma is also known for bullying and terrorizing other girls. When the body of the missing girl is found, evidence shows that both girls were murdered by strangulation and missing their teeth. Was this an act of an outsider, or was this one of the townspeople? Will Camille unravel the truth behind these crimes, or will she mentally unravel? This is my least favorite Gillian Flynn novel. This one was the only novel of Flynn's I could not finish. This is due to how much I despise the characters. The only likable characters are secondary characters who are rarely in the novel. Spoiler alert. Camille should have never gone home. She is a mess, oftentimes allowing herself to engage in illegal activities to make herself look cool to her much younger sister. She has a sexual relationship with a detective, which is completely irrelevant to the plot line. It is just another way to add sex into the story. Moreover, there is so much wrong with all the characters. They are all awful. Amma, who is a spoiled terrorist, is extremely unlikable. She is a 13-year-old who engages in drugs, promiscuity, and violence. Adora is a terrible mother who shames one daughter and dotes on the other, all while not dealing with the loss of her other daughter. Adora pretends not to see how terrible Amma is. She basically loves her because she is so pretty. Nothing is right with this family. They are wealthy and extremely unhappy. I wanted to like this story, but between the characters being the worst and the fact that the murderer is so easy to figure out, makes it not worth it. Like I said earlier, I could not finish it. I have trouble with characters who act so stupidly. I also did not really care for the amount of sexualization and underage sex. It left me feeling really gross. Like Gone Girl, this is one that left me needing a long shower and something lighter and happier to read. I will say Amy Marie Lee does a commendable job of narrating this novel. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend it with me. If you have any opinions on Gillian Flynn and her novels, please leave them below, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.